Welcome to KIRSTIcast, the show where we hope to illuminate, entertain, and engage our listeners, helping them create the life they want. I'm your host, Kirsti Manna. I have a lot of energy. I'm a type A personality. My cardiologist says that my accelerator is floored at all times. I'm spontaneous. I just go with it. I love a crowd to join in. And I'm positive. I'm ridiculously positive. I always love the character in a movie who believes it's going to work out no matter what. That's the way I think, that's the way I feel, and that's the way I try to live. When I created my online course, Spark Your Creativity, I wanted to share some of my enthusiasm on what worked for me in regards to the energy behind my passion to create. At the core of it, it's really all about self-care, making the time to slow down, which I have trouble doing, and discovering all you can about yourself, to uncover your potential and lose the fear and break habits that make us, put ourselves last in line when it comes to goals or dreams. So how's your energy these days? What kind of energy are you giving off? Good? Not so good? Stalled out? Glowing? Well, what you give off determines how you connect with others, and it also says a lot about how you're feeling about yourself. So here's a few ways to spark your energy from the inside out. First, make yourself a priority. A little self-care goes a long way, and it will make a big difference in what kind of energy you give off. It will also help you connect with others, and it says a lot about you. I love this. Rewire your brain to separate facts about yourself from negative thoughts you have about yourself. Get out of your head. Speak in a positive way. Words like love, happiness, grateful. These kind of words will make you feel better on the inside. Smile more. Enough said. Let's all try it together right now. There you go. And last but not least, practice gratitude. There are so many ways to do this, and while being grateful, you can compliment and encourage others, and you will feel so good by doing this. You'll begin to see so many positives happen in your own life. It's like magic. Hope these things help, and I would love to hear from you about how you're sharing positive energy. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Shero Spotlight. Stay tuned for the Shero Spotlight. Welcome to the Shero Spotlight, and I have a really, really cool guest today in the Shero Spotlight. I actually met her when I went to a yoga class at Heart and Light Yoga in Hermitage, Tennessee, and she was presenting something called a sound bath. I'd never been to a sound bath before, and it was such a great experience that I wanted to have her come on the show, and she's going to be closing the show today with one of her songs, and you don't want to miss it. Get your yoga mat, lay down, and take it all in, because it's amazing. Let me tell you a little bit about her. She is a Certified Biofield Tuning Practitioner, a sound healing. She's a Reiki Master and Teacher and a Certified BioAcoustic Practitioner. Wow, that's a lot. She's an avid believer in the power of sound as a healing modality on multiple levels, and she incorporates sound into her Reiki shares and private sessions and uses frequency to help bring the body back to optimal form and function through biofield tuning, bioacoustics, and sound. She says we're all made of energy. Sound is energy. Crystals are energy. Get your energy moving in a healthy and beneficial way. I love that. Please welcome Robin Barnes.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Hi, Robin. Thanks for coming. I can't wait for everyone to experience your sound bath song. It's so unique. And I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to start working in this field? Because it's really unique and interesting. I've never met anybody like you.
Well, it's been a journey for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I really started my journey as a professional singer way back in the day, back in my 20s and early 30s. And then I got married and had kids and became a single mom. And so all of that really kind of went to the wayside. And then when my kids were old enough to really do more for themselves and I didn't have to drive them around everywhere, I kind of woke up and said, oh my gosh, who am I? What do I want to do with the rest of my life? Oh, cool. And I wanted to do something with music, but I didn't really understand or know what that was. And I hadn't sung in years, and I saw a meetup group about using a frame drum and toning into a frame drum. And I went, and it just kind of woke me up from my singing slumber. And I started using my voice again.
Oh, wow.
And I really got excited about the frame drum and wanted to learn more about it. And I ended up in Asheville, North Carolina, going back and forth there to learn how to play the frame drum. And they were doing sound baths there.
Oh, okay.
At the end of these workshops, they would do these sound baths. And it just blew my mind. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I just have to do this. I don't know how, but I have to do this.
Yeah.
And so I went to the man who was the leader and I said, I want to learn how to do this. Mm-hmm. I said, but I don't play instruments like you all do. And he said, you just figure out what you do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I took that away with me and I went, okay, what do I do? What do I do? I really didn't do anything like that. So I kind of had to find my way, and I found crystal bowls. My first set of crystal bowls were just these 3 little porcelain bowls, and that's what I started with. And then I gradually started adding on some other instruments, some crystal bowls, and I added on a hand pan eventually. And I found somebody who would play flutes with me. And so he was playing flute with me for a long time. And
now, what kind of a flute? Like a pan flute?
No, he would play all kinds of different he would play Native American flutes, banshee, shakiras, or I don't even know the names of all the flutes that he used to play. Masood used to play with me. And then eventually I kind of gravitated off on my own, and I had started adding some additional instruments at that point. I added koshi bells in, and Tibetan bowls became a big part of what I do. Right. And then I really started branching out and using my voice. So I started introducing my voice into what I do, and that was a big step forward for me. Because I was really kind of sequestering my voice away for whatever reason, and then started adding that in, and it kind of opened me up in a whole different level.
I was going to ask you that about the singing. Whenever you begin to sing during one of your sound baths, is that just something that you're inspired from the tones that you're playing, or is it planned out for you in that song, so to speak?
Yeah, that's a great question. So nothing that I do in my sound baths is planned. I never have any idea what instrument I'm going to pick up and play. I have lots of instruments, as I've mentioned, and some I've brought in and then kind of retired for now. So there are some things that I don't use anymore. But they're there in case I wake up one day and say, I think I want to bring this back out. But nothing is planned. I really kind of just tap into the energies that are happening in the room at the time of the sound bath. Yeah. And pick up the instruments accordingly. Yeah. As well, my vocals come in at different times. Sometimes I'll start off with them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes they'll come in the middle. Yeah. Sometimes they don't come in at all. But nothing is planned. And if you ask me what I did afterwards, I could not tell you. I have no idea. Yeah,
because it's so improvisational, so to speak.
Yes.
So what is beneficial about a sound bath to somebody that, if somebody said, why should I come to a sound bath event? What would you say to them? What's beneficial about it?
Well, what we know about sound is that it travels through water faster than any other medium. Mm-hmm. And as human beings, we are at least 85% water down to the cellular level. So that means any sounds that are coming in are going to really penetrate into your skin, because your skin is your biggest organ, and it's really going to settle in and get deep into the body at the cellular level. Yeah. Releasing tension, releasing stress, releasing muscle tension specifically, and muscle tension can hold toxins. And so as the muscles begin to release, pain goes away, toxins get released. And so it's just incredibly healing. I have people who come to a sound bath and they'll say afterwards, hey, my hip doesn't hurt anymore.
Wow.
Or my shoulder doesn't hurt anymore. Gosh, I came in with a headache and it's gone. So, and that's really a testament to them just completely relaxing.
It's like the ultimate self-care.
It is the ultimate self-care, and all you have to do is lay there.
I know. When I went to your event, I'm laying there and thinking, oh, I was tempted to open one eye, start peeking around the room. I was really curious what instruments you were playing. So I can't wait for my audience to see this and to watch what you're doing with your instruments. It's so cool. Tell me a little bit about these instruments. Are they expensive? Do you buy them used? I know that's maybe a crazy question, but I was really curious about that.
So some are more expensive than others, for sure. My crystal bowls, I've had them for so long now. They are more expensive now than when I bought them, but they're not unreasonable.
Right.
You can get crystal bowls still on the internet, really kind of anywhere. I think I would be cautious about making sure you get them from a reputable retailer.
Right.
My hand pan is probably one of the most expensive instruments, individual instruments I have, and a good hand pan is $2,300, $2,400 easily.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's it made of?
It's steel, so
oh, really?
It's sort of like a steel drum.
Okay.
In reggae bands or those kind of bands, but it's enclosed, so it looks like a spaceship almost. And my instrument is a D minor instrument, hand pan. So, and it's got 8 notes on the top, and it's got 4 on the bottom, but it's a D minor. My Tibetan bowls, those are all antique bowls, so you can get Tibetan or Himalayan bowls that are new, that are more contemporary, but the ones that I have, I've found them all different places. Some of my favorites actually came from a man here in Nashville. He was a school teacher at one of the high schools here in Nashville, and he had an enormous Tibetan bowl collection, and he passed several years ago, and one of his daughters ended up finding me and asking me, can I help? They didn't know what to do with all these Tibetan bowls. And it was this enormous antique collection.
Wow.
And so they ended up putting it all on the market, but they were generous and kind and said, okay, you get first dibs.
Oh, that was nice.
I was able to come in and purchase two or three that I use in my sound baths now. So.
What kind of collection do you have with all of the instruments? Do you have you bought a lot of instruments today, but do you have a much more extensive collection of instruments than that?
So I didn't bring the gong. So today I brought my hand pan, I bought my Tibetan bowls, I bought the crystal bowls, and I brought out a couple of the koshi bells. So I have 4 koshi bells. I've got some other porcelain singing bowls, crystal bowls. I've got some chimes that I didn't bring out. I do concede to one digital piece of equipment, and that's my looper. And it has some water sounds in it that I use, and it's got some crystal bowl sounds that I use and Tibetan bowl sounds. But that's the only digital instrument. I didn't bring my gong, so I do have a gong that I usually set up. And I have some beautiful chimes, like actual wind chimes, but they're huge.
Oh, yeah.
And it really takes all of my muscle to put them up. And so I stopped traveling with my chimes, which are stunning on stage, when I really kind of beefed up my Tibetan bowl collection, because it's a similar sound. But I like all of them. If I could travel with everything, I would.
You need a roadie.
I do need a roadie. Oh,
that's funny. So I always ask my guests this question. What is your stay inspired story? And that can be a story about something that inspired you in life. It could be about your career, anything in life that really sticks with you and that you hold in your heart.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. So probably my stay inspired story, I'm going to be really hokey here, is my folks, my parents.
Aww.
Both of my folks are still alive.
That's not hokey.
Yeah, they're 85 and 83, and they are still vital and vibrant.
Yeah.
And I believe it's because they are constantly doing things. They keep themselves engaged. They're always learning new things. And so I stay inspired because I think there's so much more to do with this sound work. Mm-hmm. We are really, in terms of the industry of sound and sound healing, we are in the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. And there's so much more. There's a lot more to do. And honestly, I would love to bring my sound baths to a wider audience,
right.
A greater audience. And whether that's in small theater venues, I can't see 100,000 people laying down on mats or 1,000 people laying down on mats. You never know.
We knew somebody who was a yoga instructor, and he'd have 20,000 people laying on mats.
Golly, that'd be incredible. But even just sitting in a small theater venue, there's so much benefit to this, and it's a great way to bring really peace, relaxation, grounding, healing to people. People like sound.
Yes.
They like what sound does to their bodies.
Yes.
And that's why we all listen to music.
Yeah.
And what I do is not orchestrated music, but it's sound, and it affects the body, and it's undeniable that it brings relaxation, centering, peace, groundedness.
Well, I can just, give a testimony to the fact of the one time that I was in this class with you, that it was just a really amazing experience. It was a meditative experience. It took me somewhere, and I thought that was really amazing. And that's what I've always loved about yoga is just that it reminds me of when I studied acting and just all the mental stuff about studying something like acting or being quiet and being with yourself, which I think people have so much trouble doing these days. And so I think something like your sound bath is perfect for people, and everybody should take one every day.
Yes. I mean, even just 5 minutes in the morning of just getting in touch with your center and being grounded and just being in your core is a great way to start every day.
I think it's really true.
So I did a little series on my Instagram, and I called it the meditation series. And I would do I tried to keep them to 5 minutes. Hard to keep my sound baths to 5 minutes, but I would try to just do 5, 6, 7 minutes just in the mornings. And you can, go on my Instagram account and there it's all free. So, yeah.
What's your Instagram account?
It is Sounds for the Soul, and it's a number 4, so Sounds for the Soul at Instagram.
All right. Well, I hope everybody will check that out. So another thing that I always ask my guests is, what is your power word?
Oh my gosh, my power word. I don't know that I've ever thought about a power word. It's probably, maybe it's 2, love and light.
Oh, nice.
And I know that might sound kind of hokey too, but I truly believe that love is what we're all here to give. Mm-hmm. We have to find it for ourselves, within ourselves, and then give it. And light, because we are all made of light. Mm-hmm. We are all made of positive and negatively charged energy that is light. Mm-hmm. It's that we're electric.
Yes.
We are light. So, love and light.
I think that's very nice. I don't think it's hokey. Well, I'm a little bit hokey, so I like it.
I might be a lot hokey then.
That's funny. And something else I want to ask you is, finish this sentence for me. Today I'm grateful for...
Today, I'm grateful for being here.
Aww.
I'm grateful for opportunities. I'm grateful for just being able to be and do what I do in the world. Because when I was in my 20s, I'm very far from my 20s. But when I was in my 20s and I was singing and trying to get somewhere in the music industry, I was me, but I wasn't my authentic self. Mm-hmm. And so I think the wisdom of having matured is that I'm grateful to just be able to be me and not feel like I have to do anything other than that.
That's really well said. I think that's so true. I think learning how to be more authentic, and to answer your own call, so to speak, is something that's really important. And I wish we all didn't have to, get to be so far down the road that we figure that out, because, oh gosh, it would be great for so many people to be that way. I think so much about young people and how they spin and how they try to figure out what's going on. And I wish that they, could live that way when they're young.
I wish I could just feed my children. I have two daughters. I wish I could just, intravenously give them everything I know. And, you can't. They've got to make their own.
They've got to make their own road.
Their own road and their own mistakes. And
it's true.
Yeah, but I wish I had that energy now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like trade. So tell us where anybody can find you if they want to do a private sound bath session, or they want to set up a performance in a theater. How do they reach you?
Yeah, the best way to reach me is probably through my website, which is biofieldtuningtn.com.
Okay.
biofieldtuningtn.com. And that's got everything there. You can book sessions with me through my website, biofield tuning sessions, Reiki sessions. You can also learn about my sound baths there. I have a calendar there so you can see where I am.
Oh, that's nice.
Also Instagram, so that Sounds for the Soul with the number 4.
Yeah.
Is on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page, Sounds for the Soul. And a YouTube channel, Sounds for the Soul.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. Good branding. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you bringing all your instruments. It was really a treat, and I can't tell you how much I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Everybody stick around. We're going to be right back, and you don't want to miss Robin's performance as we close the show. We'll be right back.
You're my Shero, more than a hero, and I look up to you every single day. Every day, my celebration, my inspiration is to be like you, but in my own way. You're my Shero, more than a hero.
I've spent years of self-discovery learning how to live a successful creative life. That's why I created my course, Spark Your Creativity, the Steps to a Successful Creative Journey, to help others discover their own potential. Your creative journey never ends. So why not invest in yourself and sign up for my course today at Kirsti.com. See you on the journey. Well, everyone, thanks so much for joining me again on KIRSTIcast. I'm so glad that you were here. I'm so excited for you to stick around for the next few minutes and watch Robin Barnes perform one of her sound bath songs. It's really unique. It's going to make you feel great. You're going to be glad you stayed. And if you are interested in being a guest on KIRSTIcast, email me at info@songwritergirl.com. And don't forget to listen, like, download, and share this podcast. Thanks so much for sticking around. Hope I'm going to see you next time on KIRSTIcast. And whatever you do, stay inspired. You've been listening to KIRSTIcast.